Now, loud explosions shook the Syrian capital of Damascus. The state media reported Israeli airstrikes around Damascus. The Damascus residents reported hearing at least about 5 loud explosions that shook several apartment buildings 15 minutes apart. The state news agency has said that the Syrian air defenses fired back at the Israeli planes that were carrying out the bombings. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights has also said that the Israeli missiles targeted arms depots and military positions of the Lebanese Shiite movement Hezbollah between Damascus and the city of Homs. Neither state media nor the observatory reported any damage or any casualties of these several Israeli missiles that struck the targets within Syria. Military sources have claimed that the Syrian air defenses confronted the Israeli aggression by engaging the hostile targets over Syria. A Syrian military source also said in a statement that Israel carried out an air aggression with bursts of missiles from the southeastern part of Beirut. Air defense responded to the missiles and shot most of them down. The statement further added that the aerial attack launched by Israel targeted positions near Damascus and around the city of Homs. Lebanese media also reported at least 2 missiles fell in the Halamon region bordering Lebanon. Since the beginning of the war in Syria 10 years ago, Israel has carried out hundreds of such airstrikes and bombings within the Syrian territory. But the Israeli army rarely acknowledges the fact that it violates the sovereignty of Syria to carry out these airstrikes. Israel also regularly underlines that it will not allow Syria to become a stronghold of its sworn enemy Iran. It has targeted the allied Iranian forces and members of the Iranian-backed Hezbollah. The Syrian conflict, of course, began in 2011 with the regime's repression of pro-democracy protests. It has also been fanned by the Americans, who have been talking very openly of the possibility of a regime change in Syria. It has, of course, today grown increasingly complex over the course of the past decade, drawing in more and more interested parties. And according to the Syrian Observatory, the war has left nearly 500,000 people dead so far. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.